You're right on that cascading effect. Do you have any specific stories or examples of people within the Blue Star family community who are feeling the effects of this?
Yes, we do. One of the spouses who responded to our Blue Star Families Pulse poll told us that her husband had already started his move. The promotion block prohibited him from taking his position. Their move was therefore on hold, so they're paying for two households. Their child can't enroll in school because they don't have a bona fide address in the new area. And so, what's supposed to happen to that child? We have other people writing in about having individual education plans that this hold is interfering with the ability of the child to transfer from the one school to the other because they don't know how long they're going to be in this current school or when they're going to be able to move. Um, and then, we also people say, I wouldn't advise anyone to trust their lives and their livelihood to our current Congress. It's scary to see that the military can be used as a political bargaining tool. So we're seeing people saying that they are choosing to leave military service and to not continue on because they don't trust the future of how they're being commanded by the civilians who are in charge of the military.
A lot of the top leaders in the military were holding their tongue, not speaking out on this for a little bit. And Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin just said this of Tuberville's actions. This is unprecedented, it is unnecessary, and it is unsafe. What do you think the precedent is that is being set based on these holdups?
This is a this the actions of Tommy Tuberville are a terrible precedent. It's something that should be stopped immediately and should never happen again. Right now, we don't have a leader for our three of our top services of our military services. Can you imagine a enemy preventing us from having leadership of three of the five military services in the United States? We're about to not have a leader from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That would be an act of war. So our political leaders should not be allowed to undermine the good order and discipline of our military for the sake of political grandstanding.
Do you think Tuberville's actions amount to an act of war? His holdups here?
Tuberville's actions, I wouldn't say they amount to an act of war, but Tuberville's actions amount to a threat to our military. They're a threat to good order and discipline. They're a threat to morale because families, service members feel that they're being held hostage for something outside their control. And they're a threat to the military because they undermine the confidence people have that it's safe to set aside their rights as a citizen to serve at the pleasure of the American people and their political leaders because they're not sure that they can trust those leaders.
You're saying members of the military feel like they're being used as political pawns, but I do also now want to pivot to maybe the financial aspect of this. Is this financially costing members of the military?
This is financial. Tommy Tuberville's promotion block is expensive to members of the military. People are finding themselves in positions, some of them, where they're maintaining two households because a move was disrupted. In some cases, a spouse has quit a job and can't get a new job because it's not clear what's going to happen and when they can report to their new workplace. So there's really serious financial consequences for families, and there's real emotional consequences. Um, Say you have a child in high school and that child wants to start on their sports team. And that's not only helping that child's well being, which it does, but maybe that's helping them get into college. Well, now they can't start in that sports program. And maybe when they come, it's too late for them to be on the team. That's really hurting the family. And how can we be putting military children in a position where their lives are harmed for the sake of some posturing, some grandstanding?
The trickle down effects you wouldn't even think of. I wouldn't think of how this would affect a child in high school and their sports, things like that. So, what is your message to Senator Tommy Tuberville? If you could say one thing to him, what would that be?
Senator Tommy Tuberville, I am sure that you love our military and you support our military. And I want you to take that love in your heart and release these hostages, use other tools to pursue legislation, and let our military go back to work.
Kathy Roth-Douqet, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.